money and the one you even make from what you did not make, that's your business. Dangote cannot establish a refinery like the one he put in Lagos, and you come back and doing this. If he gets, he will protect himself. He will protect his investment. If his product is not sellable in Nigeria, he will export it. So what we are saying is that whoever is pushing him to do that is also contributing to a problem. So we should be even asking NNPCL to find a way of working with the man so that he won't look outside. But he's a businessman. If it does not work for him, wars will work. So he's looking for market. If 200 million Nigerians are not good enough because somebody has stepped in there to block the market, it's not good for him.
I mean, we have been so hopeful.
Countries like Angola.
Waiting for his product to hit the Nigerian markets.
There are countries in West Africa alone who are ready to pay in dollars for fuel, for a refined product of crude or gas and oil. So Nigerians are playing with their life. If you do not, there's a proverb in my place, if a child refuses food, the other child there beside will eat. I mean, if Nigeria does not like a Dangote's refined product, the man will sell it to another country and collect his money. He's not working on that. He's not a staff of NNPCL. No, he's not reporting to anybody. As far as you're concerned, you can deal with him, regulate it. If you regulate the environment, make it good for him. The president has done well by giving him crude oil and naira. And then at the end of it all, we see light at the end of the tunnel. And you people want there again to block it. The man will find it's natural to serve
and
only
again,
where you are.
The Nigerian people are left to suffer the brunt of.
Of course, when two elephants are fighting, the grasses.
It's pathetic, but we're still hopeful. That will be the more
NAMs are opt out of protest.
They have.
So many.
I wish we had time to talk about NAMs, but let's leave it for some other time.
They have a reason, but they will come back. Some of their members, we are parents to them. They are Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students.
Yes.
So if they opt out of protest, they come back and protest in the family, and we work it out.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's always fun having you in the studio to talk about things. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, my dear.
All right, so that's the much we'll take on review on New Day today. Don't forget, New Day continues right after the break. Don't go anywhere. It's quite interesting that social media, which has become a global platform for connecting and, of course, communicating, can be a potential tool or platform for terrorism. An intersection between those two are quite disheartening and something worthy of concern. So we're going to be talking about social media and terrorism today in the studio on New Day. And we'll have someone join us to explain some of the nitty-gritty we need to know and understand about social media and terrorism. She is Dr. Chinyene Chidima. She is an analyst, data analyst, and she's here in the studio to explain some of the things that we need to know about social media and terrorism. Dr. Chidima, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I also appreciate the gap in between you.
Thank you. I want to correct something. I'm not a doctor yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you're well on your way. Congratulations in advance, by the way.
Thank you.
So you're a data analyst.
Yes.
So we're not geeks, you are, right? So there are some of the things that we'll be asking you to find out, to have in-depth understanding of the subject matter, right? So tell me, social media, everybody is on social media.
Yes.
Old, young, everybody is on social media.
Yeah.
At one point, in using some of these platforms, will it start turning towards terrorism? I'll give you a background. Recently, there's a lady in Canada that the Nigerian government has actually written to Canada to have the lady arrested because of certain inflammatory, statements she made on social media, right? So at what point can someone say, okay, so this is tending towards terrorism, regardless of the fact that you're exploring your ability to communicate, right? Yeah. Yes. At what point does it begin to tend towards terrorism?
First of all, there is what my mom always said, that she always tell me that I have a freedom of speech, not under her roof. So,
she's wise.
Yes. You do generally. You should have, everything has limits. You should know where to stop and where to continue.
Okay.
Because so many people now, they feel because they have phones, they can do blasphemy and they will just go scot-free and all that. So, concerning social media particularly, we should know what to put out there, how to position our words, how to position our information, so that it's not misinform others. Or if you say yes on social media, it should be yes. You should not say yes and mean no.
Okay.
So just know how to position your information. And
okay, so in your experience and expertise, right, how would you explain the trend? Because it's no news that terrorist groups and individuals, they use social media to, propagate their agenda.
yes.
So what is your experience, right? What is the trend? You understand? When you work as a data analyst and you say, okay, so this group is tending towards, yeah, we're not just talking individuals, we're saying, okay, they are not coming out full to say what they were, but this is tending towards terrorism, given your experience.
You know, most of them now, they even come out openly to say what they want. Like,
True.
there are so many examples online. Like, I've worked on so many datas where, like, you'll be reasoning why is this person saying such a thing. And on the other hand, sometimes we are the one portraying ourselves to those terrorists also.
How?
You know,
What do you mean by that?
yeah, you know, terrorists can be. It's not just when you have gun and you're in Sahara Desert or Boko Haram or that kidnappers are terrorists. Like someone now, we should like learn how to live. It's not as if.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that it's not the well-known organized terrorist groups,
Yeah,
like individuals or a group of social, a social group can also trigger terrorism
just like
agenda.
As I'm coming here now,
Okay.
hey, I'm going to signature, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I'm just still growing. In fact, I'm
Okay.
in my early 20s.
Okay.
But still, someone who don't like me might go and block me at the junction there and maybe harm me or something. So most times, like if you are making a movement, if you are going from here to like from this point A to point B, you should not always like post your movements and all that. Like post, okay, this is where I am. Oh, Wendy,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, the other time I was going to Nsukka to see my mom, the driver was telling us that an hour ago they kidnapped someone at this same spot. How did those kidnappers know? If not that maybe the man or the person that they kidnapped posted or told someone, like you should know the level of exposed or something.
Exposure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is we tend to view this topic from a very lofty point of view.
Yes.
So you're saying, okay, from where you
from
are,
ourselves. Let's start from
you should limit the amount of information you put out there.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
Even if you must put out the information, let's like as I'm coming here now, nobody knew I'm here apart from my friend that came with me. Maybe when I'm at home, I'll be like, hey, I went to signature, blah blah blah. Then nobody, if you are looking for me at this road, they won't see me. I'm at home already. Nobody say you shouldn't post, but not like every time, like at the point of that thing happening, you are posting and people are not wise.
Okay, so let's talk full-blown terrorism, organized terrorism. Yes. You mentioned something here that then you said based on the data you analyze. Can you tell us how you work with data to identify terrorist groups?
Well, you know, working with data, it's like it's a confidential.
I understand.
Yes, but this is like a situation whereby they might. Let me just use a scenario. I don't want to talk about the data I worked with. Yeah, let me use a scenario. Maybe a police, or maybe like the agents might just like give you this name, give you this name, give you this name, give you so names. Okay, they're working towards like finding out who did so thing. Even if as a data analyst, I might not be able to like find out who is the particular person that did the thing, but I will have an informed, like I will help them make an informed decision in finding out the core suspects. You know, we are all suspects unless we are found guilty.
We're actually innocent until we're proven guilty.
Yes. So I will help them like narrow it down to, okay, I think this Mr. Chukwudi is who my analysis process is pointing to. Maybe you should interrogate him more or something. So I don't want to like go into details of what I did about.
So I understand that.
Yes.
So let's go into the different platforms that we have. We have YouTube. Yes. It's difficult to keep up with new ones coming out every day. Now, which of the platforms do you feel terrorists actually leverage on more?
I think Facebook.
Why would you think it's Facebook?
I don't know.
Because I have a different answer to that question.
I don't like.
No, you're an analyst. You have to have your reason.
Somehow, I'm not a Facebook person. Generally, I'm not an internet person.
Wow.
Yes. I celebrate my birthdays by posting myself. That's me for that. But I think, I don't know, like, Facebook to me is like a way, like everybody comes, like, it's not filtered. I don't just know, but I just think it's Facebook.
However, some people will feel Twitter should be the platform where most inflammatory statements
You still
are.
get your bass boost in Twitter, but you don't get bass boost in Facebook.
Okay, so assuming a terrorist group, and this is me being, what's the word, hypothetical, right? A terrorist group XYZ wants to propagate an agenda. Which of the platforms do you think they will go for?
It depends on who they are targeting on.
Okay.
Their target audience.
Okay.
You know, you can't. You don't want, if you want to target young people like me, don't go to radio stations.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay.
So it depends on
Who your
their target audience is. So.
It makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think the government is doing actually to curb this? Because it seems as if it's turning into a menace of some sort. So as a data analyst, or rather scratch that, we'll get to the government very soon. Are there inbuilt algorithms, right, that will flag down inflammatory statements or posts that might lead to terrorism? I mean, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, are there some things you will post and they'll flag it down and say, no, for example, nudity.
Yes.
Although tech guys know their way around it. I mean, netizens, they have their way around it, but are there inbuilt regulatory mechanisms that will flag down, inflammatory posts?
You know, just like I said, I'm not a post type or something.
Yeah, but you're a data analyst.
Data analyst.
Yes.
So in terms of that, like me, if I had been on a post, like I used to post something, there are some things that if I post, just like, okay, if you want to post something like maybe nudity or blood like on Twitter, Instagram, is it that you write that are sensitive posts or they blur it?
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Even without doing that, if you don't do it, they will take it down. They might even end up blocking your account or like taking out your account entirely from you. So common sense should tell us what to post and not what to post.
Okay, so I'm not sure the government is trusting our common sense. So are there regulatory policies? Okay, so let me just give you this background story. You know of PDOM Nigeria? Okay, PDOM is this Twitter account, 99% oppressed. He has been anonymous. Nobody knows his face, who he is. But recently, Nigerian government actually cracked down on him and had him arrested, right? So my question to you is, are there regulations that government has put in place to ensure that people don't go beyond their limits in social media, right? So that if they break it, government will boldly say, okay, you broke our rules, therefore we are coming for you. Why I ask this question is because it will help someone listening to us know their limits.
Yes.
Yeah. So are there government regulations to, curtail, this trend?
No, there are no regulations that I know.
Okay.
But just like the first thing I told you when I entered there, my mom will tell you that your freedom of speech is at the gate. I don't know if you get it.
Yes.
So this country is a good, like, it's a very good country. Like, it's a good country.
Okay.
We all know that. So we shouldn't do something that will like implicate us and something. Imagine the government going after peaceful protesters that protested just this last month. How much more you doing something intriguing? So we should just all calm down. And if governments should, like, if they really want to be going after people, say your, like, spill the tea. Tell us what you want us to post, what you don't want us to post. Just like I heard that Taliban or something, that they've restricted women from speaking in the public. Now, a woman, they will know that if I speak in the public, I might get punished. Do you get? So if governments know that they want to be picking people, they should bring it out. Like, okay, if you touch this cup on social media, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, but then you know that there's also freedom of speech, right? People have the liberty to say their mind you know, at least try not to be, you know, antagonistic to a particular level. You have the right to say your mind. And of course, most importantly, Gen Zs, they feel social media is actually the platform for them to express their minds. Like you rightly said, radio is not for you, right? Okay. So let's talk predictive analysis, you know, because I'm thinking, I'm looking at you, you're a data analyst, and I'm thinking computers, working console, you're tracking trends, graphs, and things like that. Are you able in your practice to track a terrorism trend from social media?
If I'm giving the data, yeah, I will.
Okay, if you're given the
The
data.
data, yeah.
Okay, so how does that work really? Just walk us through how it works.
Okay, let me use the one I just submitted recently.
Okay.
It's not about terrorism, anything. It's
Okay,
about agriculture.
okay.
I just did I just gave a report on an Indian agricultural process from 1997 to 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how they gathered that information? You know, recently they're going to agricultural, our ministry recently to go and get
Ministry of Agriculture.
to go and get fertilizers now.
Okay.
How do you think they got the information? Maybe they'll come, okay, then phone Commissioner Chainya so thing. It's being recorded. If I can track down what those people are doing with those fertilizers, with those informations, because you have to get a message or they will have to call you on the phone, come to Ministry of Agriculture to get fertilizer. So most times, all these things to register, like register this online, register that online, even your Netflix is a data set.
Wow. Wow.
Even buying things from Alibaba, AliExpress. Why do you think that if you go to AliExpress and maybe you checked out this cup, you didn't buy it though? You just scrolled. You checked it out. You even added it to cart and you moved it. And all of a sudden you went to Instagram and they're bringing that same cup to you. Have you imagined it? So all those things are data.
I think it works with social media generally.
Generally.
Yeah, the first thing that pops up when you open your social media platform is something you always
do.
Wow.
Even without like doing that in that particular platform. Remember, AliExpress is a different platform. But you check this cup out on AliExpress and you're coming to Instagram to see it. Try it. All those things are data. So gathering information is not really that hard.
Okay, so you've talked about agric now.
Okay.
All right. You're not, most of these things we are saying, we are being hypothetical.
Yes.
So just come from that point of view.
You know, if like the Twitter space you said, if they're saying some things, you know, anything you say online, whether good or bad, will be held against you. Okay. Online doesn't forget.
Okay.
It might be like the next whatever that they will track you down. But if I mean to track you down, I will, and I know how to do it.
Can you give us an overview? Yeah.
You know, it's all these things.
No, don't be specific. Just
I can go to Kegu and get Twitter data sets.
Please say that again.
Kegu.
Is that an app or a site?
A website.
Okay, what does it do?
That's basically where you pay to get confidential data sets.
You pay?
Yes.
Wow.
If I want to get just like Netflix, if I want to get Netflix data set, do you think they will just give it to you like that? They won't.
Is that not illegal in some way?
No. It's an official app. It's not illegal.
Okay.
You are paying those people to work with their data set.
Okay.
You are even going to tell them, okay, this is what
you want
my
to do
aim
with this.
Is. Yes. That was how they were able to give me that Indian data set to work with, and I've already given the reports. You paid in Naira, you paid in dollars? No, the people that wanted it paid. Okay. I just did the job and sent it back to them.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm also thinking in my mind, if you work for the government and you work for, I'm thinking of how to fix it. Okay, so we watch a lot of American movies, all right? And you find out that there are these guys, these tech guys, that work on the ground, right? Your job is to, you know, get this secret information for national security. Now, how robust is this arrangement? Are you aware? Do you have colleagues that work for the government in that space?
I don't have anybody that works for government in that space, but the arrangement, like in those American movies, you only see one or two persons.
Okay.
Like you only see like one or two persons, like the ones that are the real LBIs. The other people working underground.
Okay. Yes.
The other people working underground. The other people like using AI to track down even the kind of water you took, why you took that water.
Wow, and we're talking here in Nigeria.
So if Nigeria mean business, like if they mean it, they only arrest like people that they think they're coming like.
It's interesting you're saying this because I've heard this from another quarter. It says Nigeria has the most sophisticated equipment to track down whomever they want to. So
you don't want to find you here now.
So my question to you, if you are probably recruited to track Boko Haram, how would you go about it?
Boko Haram?
Yes.
First of all, Boko Haram, that
science of what are your requirements? How would you just go about it?
If I'm recruited, number one, first of all, I will have to work with the police.
Okay.
Because they have
analysts.
They have more information there than I do. Any police you see now has one or two things to tell you about Boko Haram. I do not have anything to say about Boko Haram other than the news I hear online. So a data analyst works with information. You need to feed us with information. We need to. I will keep on asking why this, why till I get to that point. I'm
like a root cause analysis.
Yes, I'll be like, okay, the Boko Haram, they picked this person. Where was the person when they picked him? Okay, what color of clothes was he wearing? Okay, does he have like any business with them? No. Okay, what about the relatives? No. Did he post anything on social media? No. The Boko Haram people, how did they get to his destination? I'll keep on asking questions. And as I'm asking, I'm writing down. I'm documenting them. Because anything you tell a data analyst, or anything you tell any analyst at all, in whatsoever field the person is, that is a great information. And it might be that, you gave a report of 1,000 sheets. And it's one word that the person is going to work with. Do you get? So I will just keep on asking whomever, the police, the government themselves, if I, by God's grace, get any of the terrorists, the XYZ person, I will use question and finish you. What did you eat this morning? Rice. Why did you eat rice?
Any question, any answer is relevant.
Why did you eat rice? Yeah, man, why did you eat Gary? Guys like Gary.
All right, Chidima. So we have been talking about social media as a tool for terrorism, right? Yes. Terrorism. So we have been trying to expose the fact that you can use social media to push a terrorist agenda. Now, let's reverse the roles. How do you think social media can be used to curb or stop terrorism to a reasonable extent?
Terrorism to some extent is, to me, is inevitable, but it can be reduced. Yeah. Now, social media, you can, like, recently they're posting informations. They'll be like, just like the last time they did the protest, as early as 7, 8, I already saw a video of something happening at Imo State. That told me that you're not supposed to go anywhere. And my father told me that they're not cooking me. So social media will always, like, in as much as they have a negative impact, they also have the positive one.
How can we push more of the social positive impact?
Educating people, sensitization through social media. It's not only coming to social media to shake bomb. You can always come out to, like, say something, it must not be about terrorism. I'm a farmer also. You can always come to social media to, like, okay, this is how I planted tomato, this is how I can, like, process and pasteurize it for it to, like,
last longer.
So social media is not only about, my younger man, I used to tell them, it's not only about shaking bomb on TikTok and all that.
You need to say that again so they can hear.
It's not only about shaking bomb on TikTok. You can always like post. It's not even on terrorism. There's so many. There is hunger. I just told you I'm a farmer, as young as I am, and I'm not ashamed to say it because I know that even if I'm not selling, at least I have something for
eat.
myself for the meantime before the dry season comes. So social media, if we all use it rightly, even this TV, if we all use it rightly, we will reduce it. It will not be gone forever, but it will drastically drop.
All right.
It will drop. Let's like portray good informations. Okay, if something is happening, and let's investigate the information that we are posting. Somebody like my father will send you one video and tell you, "Chichi, na nebuko madu na obete." Meanwhile, I'm not obete buying something. My father does that. Hey, all these sent to 100 persons. My father has it A1. He will send.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I don't know myself, or I don't look up things. I'll be living in fear.
Yeah. All right, Chidima, what's the most profound experience you had working as a data analyst as regards maybe not full-blown terrorism, but something impending that is not so positive? Have you had any experience at all, no matter how remote, that you can share with us before we leave, because we are quickly running out of time?
Okay. I don't really have I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, you can give us an overview.
But
You can just glean over it so that even if you gave us details, we wouldn't even understand. We are not tech savvy.
it's true news. So I don't really want to talk about. Let me talk about, like, there's another analysis that I did.
Okay.
It's for a new transport company that is coming up in ENUGU.
Okay.
It's called Oyijemoto.
Okay. You have to
Shout
pay
out
us.
to
You have to
Chief.
pay us. You have to pay us for this
Shout out to
advert.
Chief.
No. You have to pay us first for this advert.
No worries. So
All right.
I've actually submitted
The report.
the report, so they're working on it. We are looking at what to do differently to like outshine other transport.
To get ahead of your your
companies. And
competitors.
there is another one that I'll be submitting maybe tomorrow or next on red oil packaging.
Okay.
Someone wants to start red oil package, just like they're packaging vegetable oil.
Okay.
Wants to start packaging red oil, and I've done the survey already. I'm
Alright.
already on the. I've done the analysis. I just want to give the report. So
Alright.
they want to know how people do people really want to buy red oil packaged?
Yeah.
So.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Chidima. It was
Cheers.
such a pleasure having you sit here and discuss this. And being a woman, you should know I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, don't go anywhere. Don't forget, this is still Signature TV, new day, and head over to our social media platforms. Like, share, comment. Don't go anywhere. New day continues after this short break.
You remember what happened when the president came in and removed subsidy? Though we've not gotten to that point. But all these things are accumulation of poor preparations. You see, if you are going into anybody that wants to drive will first of all learn to drive. If you want to do anything, you learn it. But in Nigeria, you learn by just name. And you run into the system. And when your car breaks down, you look for the best mechanic, not minding the tribe, not minding the religion. But Nigeria is sick. Nigeria is like a car with a lot of, but we keep on hiring the worst people on the basis of tribe and religion sentiments. How will it work? Look at NNPC. Even as we talk, we've been complaining that needs total overhauling. Because the people there do not show any sign, have the capacity to run the system. Even after removing fare subsidy, we've not gone out from. In fact, it's like we are fast running back to what we left before. You remember years back, we stopped experiencing queues in filling stations. Now it's coming back, and coming back with speed. As we talk, there is no PMS price in Nigeria. You cannot say that as I'm going in station A, I know how much it should be. Or you are going to finish station B. No, once you go in, whatever you see, you buy. You can come in now and they will write, like when I was coming out, the filling station where I bought fare, 950 naira. Go to other states, it's 1,000 plus. And just like that. If I take it to be 1,950 naira now, I may enter fare station and see 1,100 or whatever. That is the way it has become. Even the Department of Petroleum.
Discussing the intersection between social media and terrorism. We have Joshua Okafor in the studio to further take us deeper into insights concerning these two seemingly, different realms of endeavor. Joshua Okafor is a sound engineer, and he's going to be our guest on this part of the segment of this discussion. Good morning, Joshua.
Good morning this morning.
How are you?
I'm very much well.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're an engineer.
Yeah. Actually, anyway, the thing is that by training I'm a graduate of agriculture.
Wow.
But by technicality and the other learnings,
an engineer.
I
Can I tell you a fun fact?
Okay.
So the guest I had before now is trying to recall, an analyst, a data analyst, and she's also a farmer. And here you are, an engineer and also a farmer. Yeah. So what am I missing?
To start with, we all know what is at stake now. Generally, the whole world, hunger is a discussion on the table now. Because when you eat, you can think. If you don't have food, you can't think of every other thing. It's the first basic need of man.
Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of...
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's after hunger, you talk about shelter and clothing.
Every other thing. So. Okay, so we've had a lot of discussion on on social media as a potential instrument or an instrument of terrorism, given what's happening across the globe. Recently, someone said something inflammatory all the way in Canada against a certain tribe in Nigeria, and an official had to write for her arrest over there in Canada. So it shows the potential of social media being a tool, to incite violence and terrorism. So we've had a lot of that discussion with my guest that just left the studio now. So my question to you now is, if there's a bad side of an issue, there's also usually a good side to an issue, right? In your thoughts, in your thinking, how do you think that social media can be used as a tool against terrorism? Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Like what you said now, something happened last time when someone in South Africa booked an Uber in Nigeria. You must have heard of the news.
Of course, it was everywhere.
Nigeria has now started booking, and there was a lot of issue online. So one thing about social media is a good thing, but like you said, whatever comes good side must come with its own negative side. So what you do is to weigh it, which one is better, you now take on. So social media, like you said, can be used to also cover terrorism. In as much as it can, people will mostly use it too for terrorist attack and other things. Because with social media now, especially something like GPS.
Please, what is GPS?
GPS is
are you talking about global positioning system?
Yes.
Okay.
Once you're online now.
Actually, for a moment, I thought GPS is a new social media platform.
No.
Okay.
Once you're online with your data is on and your phone is active, network, someone can easily, there is a way someone can easily track and know your location. You understand? So something like that now from social media too. As you are using it, there is a way you can be tracked and know where you are staying. So that even if someone, like you said now, last time was from South Africa, someone said something from, you said Canada, I think, and someone has to write for the person to be arrested. Because I saw that on social media, possibly they tracked the location of that person, verify the profile of the person online.
IP address and all that.
So that is why in social media now, when you want to open any new profile, they will ask you to put this details, so that possibly for anything, you can be traced, like your address or anything. So possibly they tracked all those things. I know that this social person is here. That's why they were able to move on for the arrest.
Okay, so before I get to the role of, okay, so for me, I'm thinking the government has a role, all stakeholders, the government, the social media companies, they have their role, I believe, and then the people, they have their role. So let's start with the people. Okay. What are specific things that people need to do? Because we are here to enlighten people. Some people do this out of ignorance, but you know, ignorance is never an excuse, so you need to get informed. So let's talk about the people. What can people do? Because everybody has presence on social media. Yes, so what are the practical things that they can do to curb terrorism? Because, okay, let's forget Boko Haram and all the well-known organized terrorist groups. You know, there's cultism in secondary schools these days. So they could use social media to push their little agenda. So my question to you is, how can the people, the Gen Zs, the mothers, the fathers, how can they use the power in their hands in the form of social media to curb terrorism?
Okay, one thing I do tell people about social media is that it's a good thing, but most times, because maybe we just feel like we want to trend and want to post things, we don't verify information. It's one of the way we make things. If someone is looking up to me now, having seen me in the society, and I share something, the person may not have time to verify. We assume that since I shared that thing, it's acceptable, you understand? So it's very, very important that when we see any information in social media, we try as much as possible to verify that information. See where it's coming from. Don't just be in a haste to just share. You understand? Because once
Hold
you
that
do that,
thought, because when you say verify, nobody understands what you mean. So what is the one thing that you can do quickly to verify? Because it sounds as if you have to go to Night Mile to verify. What is one thing, just one thing?
Online, like someone can post a news of something that happened in Abuja now. You understand? You are not in Abuja. But instead of you to just share that without getting the full information about how it happened, you can use your Google and check other platforms.
Bingo.
Yes, that's one. Then again, if you are not sure of the information, you can say that this is alleged stuff, is a rumor. These are the words you can use so that anyone getting it will not conclude that
like
this
a
is
disclosure.
Just the way, yes, that this is just the way it happened. Because if you just share it that way, someone that knows you, know your capacity and your personality in the society can just say, this person posted it, that means it's true. Like in the world of football, there's one football analyst. Once he posts something, we know that he legit transfer news, everything. So I know such person will not just come and post something that will not be true, because he knows his credibility and his stand in the footballing society. So that is the thing. People most times just share for sharing sake. You see information, you don't even care to ask or even think about it. I do tell people, give information time. You must not share immediately. Digest it, analyze it.
I think
the urge is always there.
Yes, it's like an adrenaline thing. Let me be the first, the exclusive.
So that is the thing. So someone will just, even all this online scam, business scam, someone will say you pay 2,000 naira, you register and win it. That is how it starts. If I post it to a group that people know me very well, they cannot pay that 2,000 naira. Before you would realize that it's fake, they must have paid. Those people will make their money and go. then even if you are telling them that you are sorry when they have wasted their money. You have lost the trust they have in you.
So I hear you in verifying facts and videos and stories before pushing. What else can the people do to curb? Because we're not just talking full-blown terrorism, like I told you. There are other sorts of terrorism, all right, towards families, towards people, whatever, all right? So what other things aside
Then on social
verifying?
media too, like some time ago, something happened. So a guy invited 2 ladies, I think, to another state. The news came up that they killed the 2 ladies. It was online and stuff. And now they did not notify anybody of where they are going.
Where they were going.
You understand? So I think social media too is a good thing. If somebody is sending you a chat for anything, you can also forward to another person that you know very well for.
Joshua, I need you to do me a favor. Could you look into the camera and look into the camera.
Okay.
I need you to address the young people based on this second point.
So now, you are going for something. Like today, I was invited here. I don't know this place before. But I have to tell people that this is where I'm going. They say, okay, they know the place. They even gave me the direction, even with the Google map I was using to come. I tracked it. So, but most times, somebody may just be saying something online. You don't know the person for the first time. You just go. You're not involved in security.
Some could travel outside of a state.
The one I've forgotten the full story, but the person traveled from something like Riverline State, like me, Port Harcourt, to this eastern part, or I don't know the state again. They ended up being killed. It's very easy. If I'm chatting with you now, although what they do mostly online now is that if those scam people, how you know them is their profile most times. You look at their profile, they mostly use the profile of pictures of ladies. Depending on the scam they want to run. So that it will be something like subtle, maybe beautiful ladies or something. They may not look the exact picture. So you need to have verification. Most times, someone chat me on WhatsApp, tell me a name, I rush to Facebook. See if I can find a name and picture of so if it's related to what the person is actually talking about. That is one point. Then there are some questions you ask somebody. Somebody called me last time. He's my brother from Canada that is doing this one. I quickly asked him, where are you from? Since you are my brother, you should know my state, you should know my village, you should know something about my area. He ended the call. That was the end of it. So these are the ways. We need to be ready that scammers can get to us every time they chat me up on Facebook Messenger. But if you are so fast to just rush in, there are simple killing questions you ask the person, you know that you throw the person off balance. That is one. But when you just come online, someone, even in business or anything, you just rush and
you're just looking at the base. You're not looking at the
Yes, you're looking at what you're going to benefit from the benefit.
Picture.
Yeah. And they will come with something
enticing
and all that. So that is the thing. We need to learn how to be patient with social media. It's a serious, even this morning I have to delete one of the groups I manage on WhatsApp. Someone just posted something. As admin, I just deleted it. I don't even need to
inform.
Because the more you waste time, someone may pick it up and
get
to the wrong hand.
Absolutely.
So that is the thing. And you know, because of the level of education in our country, most people are not that educated like
they went to school, but they're not educated.
Or some did not go, like our mothers and our fathers now. So there is a way you do something. People can easily be misled with this social media of a thing.
True.
So that is just the thing.
True. You've elaborated so much on the role of the people, ordinary people, on what to do. Now let's talk about these companies that own all of these platforms, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Okay. What is their role in curbing terrorism?
Yeah, they play a significant role because one, they are the owner of the platform.
So they are liable in case something happens.
Because they should be able to track anything. Like even in Facebook, there are some things even this morning I was stopped from liking some picture, like reaction to post.
Why?
They told me that they just have to free me to protect the community or something for protective stuff. So maybe after some time,
they will allow you.
Maybe they say why I liked, they thought it's too much. Or something. So these are the measures. Then on Facebook too, you can easily report a post you felt is not following standard.
Okay.
If you report, like sometimes in Nigeria, one blogger came up and did something, people picked it up and started reporting the page. They brought the person's page down, stuff like that. So I think they have a role to play if you report such cases and they can verify it and see that it's true. There are some things you post on Facebook now with someone's song that is a license right or something. They will bring the post down and tell you that you don't have the power to do stuff like that. So these are the regulations they put in place to monitor. But you know that all this regulation will not work very well if the people using the media, the platform, are not actually up and doing to be able to give report, for them to be able to pick it up and analyze and see if it's true or false.
Okay, so people will actually need to report.
Yes. That is the thing. They may not, there are so many people using the platform.
Okay, so being a social media user myself, I've come across some posts online that will tell you, okay, so this is a petition, sign this petition to do this and do that.
Yes.
Can someone actually start a petition against?
Yes, I'm even in a group, this amnesty, something, so I think.
Yeah. How does that work? Walk us through how petitions work.
So I think
in bringing down some of these things.
Just like that now, somebody can pick it up, this is a problem he will write. They will now open a pool where people will come and react, whether they are in support of what the person is saying or not.
How do you, I need you to take us through the nitty-gritty. How do you open that pool? I mean, where did you go to a website, or do you use an app? How do you go about it?
Yeah, I think there's I have not actually tried it. I've just joined. At times I see notification of petition that is going on that I should vote, that so and so is happening in this place. But I have not actually tried initiating any pool at all. So, but I believe there is like that amnesty something, this thing is a kind of app where you come in. If you see something like that, mainly they focus more on bad governance and everything, that these and these people are suffering in so country. Someone will pick it up, write that petition. Other people will now follow up and vote. So I think in the end, they will analyze the number of votes, and from there they take up action with it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's talk. Okay, I had something in mind because I mentioned 3 stakeholders: the people, the government, and the companies. But before I get to the government, let's talk AI. Okay, AI is like the in thing now. In fact, AI is so popular now, it scares me somehow, because you could find AI to clone you where you just speak as though it is you and make inflammatory statements, right? Yeah. Where do we draw the line with AI? This whole thing now boils down to being careful, because the more innovation comes, the more the negative side of it. So we need, if we are aware of that before it even comes, we know how to protect ourselves. So how do we protect ourselves? So like what you said now, somebody can clone your face with time. And voice. And your voice. So most times you hear of a recorded call. In the end, they will telling you that is doctored, that is not actually true. So you may be confused, but to some extent, there is sense in it that somebody can clone your voice, use it and make a call and form it that you are the one making that call, or even face. You understand? So, but in the end of everything, if we are careful, we not actually commit ourselves, you understand, into maybe showing something that we actually point out that we are actually the victim. It may be easier for you to trace it, analyze it. Like at times what they do in the voice is that they analyze the voice. There are people, they are specialists. Like you they are specialists in that. They will put the voice in a particular app, analyze it. From the separation and the deductions they will make there, they will tell you that this thing was actually doctored. Maybe they will match up so many things to even make it up. They may not be just one straightforward conversation. They will bring from this place, cut and send me your detail of this, the other one. Recently, something happened in my area. Someone claimed that someone used her account number to dupe another person, and the money entered her account. So she now went to, is it to withdraw the money or something? She was apprehended. They went to court. She was claiming that she's not aware of the whole thing. But the money is in your account. And you went to withdraw it. How did you not give the person your account number? You see it. So that one was issued, though later they resolved and he paid back the person they duped and everything. But the person spent at least a month in the custody. So these are the issues there. Now he may be truly innocent. Maybe he not have hand in that particular issue, but he have affected her business, her name. People will hear that she got involved in cybercrime and everything. she scammed somebody. There's a way people will be looking at her, even if she's innocent. And there may not be time to actually verify if she's innocent because of the resources involved, the energy, the time. So you see it now. But she actually agreed that she gave the person the account number. You understand? So the person now, so you see it now. And another thing is that they were not telling me, okay, take us to this person you gave the account number.
No way.
She couldn't give exact direction. It was online, they met. Did the thing, maybe
Transaction.
promised her to give her a cut or something. Now the person noticed that the stuff have leaked. He left the whole thing on, he hung the whole bone on her neck.
Wow.
So that is the thing. So we have to be very careful. Although it's not easy, the country is hard, people are looking for a way to survive, and most times if you see any slight opportunity, you want to jump in and take it to be able to move on. But it's very important that we try to control ourselves to try and the best way to do it is to speak out. You see this, you ask someone near you, look at what I saw, what is your advice? Most times, all this scamming stuff, they will tell you, don't tell anybody. Someone chatted me last time and said, I have a business I'll teach you. You're making 50,000 naira a week. You just give me, for your first win, you just give me 20,000 naira. Then you keep the rest, but don't tell anybody. I laughed. I told him, how will you be giving me this kind of business? He said, I should not tell. Let me invite other people now so that we join. The business will be big. Everybody making money. All of them will pay 20K to you in their first win. So the reason is that they will make it look as if they are helping you for not disclosing it. So that before you will be able to tell someone what actually happened, they are finished dealing with you. So that is the thing about all this stuff.
You know what the good books?
Business this. Then on WhatsApp too. So the thing is that it depends on your exposure to each of these platforms. Like I noticed that most times I see online courses, join this one, we teach you photography, we teach you the other one, you join. There are so many people in that group. Now, I notice that most times, once I join such group, I'll have a private chat.
More of those.
You understand? And what I do immediately, I have a private chat, is to go to your bio and check the groups we have in common. Before I will even reply you, I will now notice that this group is the group I just joined. We are together in that group. I will now say, okay. You understand? That is the first step. Because you just join the group, maybe from Facebook, you see the link, join the WhatsApp group, you just enter. Within few minutes of, let's say maybe one day, someone will just chat you up that is this from this. Just tell you one nonsense name and like that. That is this on this and that. You give this one, give you this business. So once I see that, I'm already, I'm aware. I will just check the person's bio, see the groups we have in common. I see that is that group I just enter. So you see, it's more like the way you expose yourself, the more they get to you. If you jump and click links, you should be very careful.
Yes.
Especially on Facebook.
Yes.
There's one I clicked last time. Do you know what happened? I just say a new, something like a frontal page of Facebook where you log in. They requested that I log in. You understand? I didn't know. I logged in again. They only picked my username and my password. The next thing I got was email. I got email message that they want to reset my Facebook. So the person will now call you. There's a message you got, phone number, number you got now, and a text message. Just call that phone number for me. If you are not careful, once you call it, you want to log into Facebook again, your account is gone.
What are some of the regulatory mechanisms on WhatsApp? Because WhatsApp seems to be the most used messenger platform, right?
Yes.
We know about the two-step verification. Tell us about it. And I think there are a couple of others that that have actually, been added to the list. Just tell us about it.
Okay, the two-step verification is a kind of, if you do it with WhatsApp, they will request you to put a code. So after, maybe if you use WhatsApp for some time, they will require that code from you. Maybe when you want to use it again, they ask you to put that your code. So this is just to make sure that as time goes on, you are still in charge. So if they require that code now, they have entered, and they have entered the hand of a wrong person, the person will not know the code. So he will not be able to access the WhatsApp. Yeah. Like you can be using it for some time, you keep your phone, before you open it again, the code will pop up requesting you to put it. Once you put it, you continue what you are going. So that is the two-step. Then again, if anything happen again, you can have a signal with that phone number you register the WhatsApp with. before any resetting can be done or anything, they will have to send the resetting code to you through that phone number. So that even if you lost that account, someone will be using it for some time, but when the person want to reset anything, they will have to send that code to that your phone number, so that you can only give out that code to the person. If you give it, the person can access your WhatsApp. If the person can't get it, he can't access. So for Facebook too, they use phone number. They can also use your email. But I rely more on that email, because even if you don't have that phone number, but you still have access to your email. Anywhere you are, you can access it and be able to pick up. Had it been I'd not have that email in my Facebook, then the account will be gone by now. The person will take it and start. And what they do is that once they take the account, they start using it to scam
other
people that know you. Like people that you have influence over, that are your friends on Facebook now. You start telling them this is a business that is doing this. Before they realize that you are not actually the one. They have finished what they want to do. So that is the thing.
Interesting. So we need to talk about the government. Are they lay down regulations, right? I don't know if you heard of the recent crackdown on this guy on Twitter, Anonymous.
Yes.
Right? Did he break any codes, or was it just within the ambits of the law to express his thoughts about governance?
Okay. Okay, I'll put it this way. There should be laid down rules, although I may not even know all of them, because
So when you say there should be, means there's none. There are no rules.
maybe if we get to the Constitution,
Okay.
there may be something
No,
talking
when the
about.
Constitution was drawn, there was nothing like social media. Right?
But I believe there should be a backup something document,
Yeah, like
regulating
a
that something
guideline.
yes, on how you should go about it, like how you talk on social media, because there is freedom of speech, but there's a way you talk, it becomes hate speech. You understand? So I think in that side, there should be something regulating how your conduct in social media, how you talk to your fellow human being, how you talk about the government. Because one thing is that I don't actually support people that come out rightly on social media and condemn everything. In everything you are condemning, there should be some good thing too. You understand? So, but some people, out of anger anyway, or frustration of the economy and everything, we just come and... Then there's what we call vital information, that you don't just come and disclose anyhow, because you have freedom of speech. So these are things we need to pay keen attention to. Because now, there's freedom of speech. You can talk about bad governance. Although in our country, the way it is, they say that there's freedom before speech, but there may not be freedom after speech.
After speech.
You understand? Because of the regulation of the laws and everything. Because somebody, I believe, should have the right to say that the government is not doing well here and doing well here. And if it's actually true, the person should be allowed to stay. But most times, from what we see around our own country, the opposite seems to be the case where someone will actually say the right thing and he will be punished for it. You understand? So that is one thing. That is why somebody will tell you that this government is not doing well. Look at what they're supposed to do. They did not do it. And the government will go after the person, imprison the person. You will now be asking, what did this person do? Nobody will answer you until when they want to release the person. So that is the issue now. Even if there is a regulation written down, laid down rule, who are those people that are supposed to be making sure that we follow this regulation, enforcing it? So that if someone chat me up now, I know the person is scam, and I'm notified the authority involved, are they willing to pick it up from there? That is the question.
Sure.
You understand? Because it's not just like I noticed that this person is obviously a scammer from how I announced a so and so account did this and did that. I reported it. Will the people in charge be willing and ready and capable to take it up immediately and possibly bring the person to book, so that I will see that justice was actually meted?
That's right. Okay, so before we wrap up, I have this one question for you.
Okay.
A while ago, there was this video making the rounds, where a couple of videos actually, where you see a supposed terrorist, right, with money, stacked around him, with ammunition, obviously flaunting, his wealth off of banditry,
Yes.
right? Now, I'm a citizen of Nigeria, and I get to see this video go viral. What can I do, or how do I report this, or is there a whistleblowing mechanism, or just what should I do? Should I just lean over it and say, it's one of those things? Because we're talking how to curb terrorism with social media. What would you advise someone to do if you see such videos without putting himself or herself in harm's way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, the thing is that this video, we have seen things like that. They will tell you this is the money they made from ransom,
Yes,
people they
yes,
kidnap, and then you
yeah.
see ammunition, they seized it from the military or stuff like that, with parading with guns and everything. Some of them
Yes.
don't even cover their face. It's common. So, but I think if the system is actually working, what you just need is to hashtag the agency that's supposed to take care of that. They will follow it up.
Okay, how do you
understand?
hashtag?
Hashtag, if you know the actual name, you can put a hash, then followed by @ you can tag the person. If you just type @
Okay, okay.
it will
It
pop
brings
up.
out, yeah,
Yes.
it pop up.
So when you now click on it, you see it highlighted there.
Okay.
So it's supposed to notify whosoever that is managing that particular account of that people.
There's always a
that he
clapback. Is there a fear of a clapback because they will know you sent? So
You are not actually that way now. You are not actually the person sending the video. You just saw it flowing,
Okay.
and maybe in another person's
Okay,
channel or
okay.
anything. You just hashtag them. When they come, they will not. They only know that you are the one that mentioned them.
Okay.
But it's not on your channel. They will see the video.
Okay.
They carry it already. They will see it there. It's just like you now. You saw vital information on Facebook.
All right.
You hashtag someone you know they will need the information. The person will get a notification from Facebook. So person mentioned you.
All right. So
when the person now click, you see what the
All right.
information.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I wish I had more time with you, but you've been of immense help, and I'm sure someone is glad listening to you right now. So thank you so very much. There you have it. Social media is actually a double-edged sword. So if you must use social media, use it with caution. All right. New Day still continues right after this break. Don't go anywhere. George, thank you. On our Abuja Rebound segment, we had a very interesting topic on social exclusion, on sustainable development goals, and we had an important guest coming to talk to us about this topic. He is Adekunle Adekonye, I beg your pardon, Adekonye Bolutife. Please take a listen and hear what he had to say.
Good morning to you and welcome to Signature Morning once again. My name is Godwin Sunday. Well, the issues around social development goals has become a pressing issues across the world. we have a lot of social exclusion that surrounds this issue. Well, it's on this premise that we're bringing to you this morning a social development goal advocate in the person of Boluwatife Adekoya, who've been helping us put some issues in perspective so that we can all have a general understanding what the social development goal is all about and how can the youth benefit from various social development goal initiatives being put together.
Mental goal, which is sustainability developmental goal, right, is what is for everyone. Based on your question, it's not just for maybe young person or for just because everyone is being affected by what have come together to form these global goals altogether. And the emergence of these sustainability developmental goals have started since year 2000, where we have the Millennium Goals, and over a period of like 15 years, they had to end the program and again start the sustainability developmental goal, which is to run to 2030, why we call it the SDG 2030. Thank you.
All right, so many have argued that youth activisms often lacks the power to influence policies, and then that sustainability goal efforts can be superficial and short-lived, just like other policies. How do you think that this goal can be sustained? And looking at the youth involvement in the sustainability goal policies.
Okay. Over the years, since the sustainability developmental goal has started, we've had different policies coming up around it to ensure that all countries buy into it. Because to me, SDG cut across every sector in life as an human being. Why I try for being passionate about humanity, and the idea of going in, learning about policy to influence policy becomes a bigger challenge in our environment. And the few people that are entering into that space, and even through the media, are being silenced. So that makes it a little bit tricky, but we don't have to keep quiet, we don't relent, we just have to keep pushing. And for those who are still buying into it, that's okay, we want the whole world to know about the sustainability developmental goal, and we keep advocating. That's just it.
All right, so let's bring this social sustainable development goal, let's drive it home a bit. Boluwatife, in the generality of this social development policy, we've come to realize that it is one-sided. What I mean by one-sided is the urban areas in Nigeria tend to talk more about the sustainability development goal, while the rural area that have large resources, we don't get that education driven down to the rural areas in the country as it stands right now. So are we saying that there is a total social exclusion of this policy in Nigeria, or it has been segmented? You are an advocate, so I want you to react to this so that Nigerians out there can have a perspective. If they are being segregated, or this policy is to favor one segment of the country and abandon other fragments of the country.
Okay, great. I love this question. Why? Is because this is not just about the policy. Part of the policy is where the SDG first stands as quality education, right? But I keep talking about the Nigerian context of the approach to education itself. Hadn't been with education being spread across the whole country, that a child in a rural area is accessible to education, or that is a proper education, then it wouldn't have looked as if certain policy now is finding its way very difficult to reach them. So in a country by over the last statistics showing that almost 20 million child are out of school. So, and as someone who has also been able to go to the up north and seen how children are roaming about the Almajiris and the rest like that, if I should call it that way, and not having access to education makes it so challenging that the basis of what they even have to know in education becomes a very, very difficult. And being that is challenging, to now have people to drive a policy for sustainability goals to those premises becomes very challenging. But as much as that is, we are still trying to break that barrier and ensure that through the medium of now the sustainability developmental goal, we are now pushing that, the push of education to those community. And I can give different instances of how these, even through international organizations, are collaborated with few organizations here in Nigeria to drive quality education in those remote places. Maybe in the course of the questions, I will be able to expatiate more on that.
All right, so invariably you're saying right now, it is not one-sided. It is being driven down. All right, so let's agree with you on that and to a certain extent. Let's bring it back home a bit, again, for the second time. A lot of NGOs are springing forth. A lot of organizations are trying to partner with the United Nations, especially in Nigeria, in the Federal Capital Territory, in order for them to promote sustainability development goal. I want to ask, in this level of education, what are they certified? What are the criteria that are required for them to be able to push this goal? Because what a man does not know, it is difficult for man to interpret. And what we've seen right now, we've seen a lot of persons telling you they are pushing for sustainability developmental goals. So I ask you as an advocate, are there trainings being put together to ensure that people that say they are sustainability developmental experts can now beat their chest and speak as an authority in that field? Are there training, or anybody can just delve into this field and become a sustainability developmental goal NGO professional, just like we've seen over time? I think this is one of the reasons why it's not been driven to the grassroots, because we don't have a lot of professionals. But you are the expert here as an advocate. What do you think about the orientation and training of the trainer systems for sustainability developmental goals?
Okay, great. Now, regarding your question, I will say, fine, there might be a little bit of lapses. So to now say that SDG experts, well, being an advocate requires a lot of trainings, in the sense that you have to attend capacity buildings for you to understand what that SDG actually stands for. You can't dive. I think this is one of the challenge for youth generally on the African side, whereby we find it very difficult to read. So you just feel like, oh, this thing is the one as the talk of the town, and you just feel like, let me just be into it, and the peripheral of it is what you are just following, that they should just see me that. But it's more than that. It's you being able to acquire the necessary capacity, in the sense of taking the necessary trainings, going forth to understanding what the SDG itself involves. And it's not hidden. All the available materials to you understanding this are being provided. Organizations even hold capacity building where they want people who are interested in SDGs to come over. We've just marked the International Youth Day, just this concluded month, and it was a platform for young Nigerians, for them to come over to hear from experts of what they are actually doing, and those who are interested, for them all to get an insight, network together, and see how they can keep driving the goals together. So I think for me, I would say that it's of necessity that you go deep in learning, understanding what the SDG itself involves. This has cut across a lot of media publicity, and even you having those who are, let me use for example, not promoting a brand. There is a phone presently now that for you charging the phone, there is a feature there that lets you know that you are talking about SDGs. Just to put it straight to you that, okay, you have to understand these SDGs. Just on your network, click on it. digest what SDG is, because beyond the general 17 goals, on each of them have their own item of ways at which you can approach the SDGs. Given, for example, you have the SDG 1 as you're having it as no poverty. You are having, for another track under it, 1.1, 1.2, breaking it down like that, where you are able to read what it really entails, and then you can now say, oh, I've understood what this is. So coming to the angle of, oh, there are a lot of NGOs. To me, I would say, fine, there are a lot of NGOs. The main purpose is, what is their vision? What is their mission? Why are they connecting to connecting to sustainability developmental goal? Is it just to get the visibility, or actually?
No, perhaps it's the next fat cow. It's the biggest fat cow right now in town, so I don't know.
Yeah, it is, in the sense that the goal is 2030, right? That we want all certain things to be put in place, in quality education reaching all and sundry, and at the same time, for NGOs, to me, I would say it's more than just connecting to the SDGs. Let the SDG be a driving board for you, but in whatsoever you are doing, ensure that it reaches the targeted audience, in you being able to say you are impacting life. So there must be an impact, and also being able to measure your results.
So let's even bring this conversation and talk about the government. Before a government comes into play, I understand that they have a lot of manifesto, as it were, before they come into play. As it stands right now, the SDG, I beg your pardon, have their own agenda that has been set. Now, looking at the government manifesto, that's most governments have not been able to completely utilize or fulfill, if you like to use that word. Can we now say bringing the SDG, wouldn't that be a form of distraction to governments that have their own agenda? And can this also be the reason why we don't have a lot of government, especially at the state and the local government level, not getting too involved in SDG policies and programs?
Okay. This sounds interesting because in 2022, when we had the Active Now week of SDGs, targeted on flipping the script, I was privileged to be in an hangout event where we were able to talk about the specific area you're talking about. And truly, being an eve to the election, like the year was an eve to 2023 election in Nigeria, we tried to call the attention of aspirants to them being able to say, whatsoever you are doing, let it be something that is targeted along the lines of the SDGs, so that whatsoever you are doing will be globally seen, driven, and being able to meet up the social needs. Because what is government itself, if not for them to be able to provide social amenities to the people? And if you are saying providing social amenities to the people, both in education, ending poverty, ending hunger in the land, security issue where SDG 16, peace and justice and security issues is being itemized, then you have been able to consider the weather change, because we all have been affected. Now we are in rainy season in this part of Nigeria right now, and flooding has started. So here is climate change SDG 13 that talks about these things. And when there are issues, flooding, the government needs to take proactive actions to ensure that that doesn't keep occurring, right? Not until when it has occurred that you now start providing relief materials. No, let it be in your agenda from now. And I think that still boils down to us saying the type of leadership we are producing in our nation as it stands right now. That one is another big topic on its own when it comes to governments and them being able to buy into these policies. Mind you, these SDGs did not just come into limelight like that without the governments themselves, if I should put it that way, in the sense that this has been through the United Nations, which, let me give, Nigeria is part of the United Nations, and all leaders were being called, seated down, then in the days of the Millennium Goals, to see how they can know the problem across each countries, where they were able to bottle everything together to form a 17, to now break it down in 2015 as 17 goals for us. And so for anybody now coming in to hold such offices should be able to, like, let's key into this and use it as our driving to achieving our mandate for our people, that our people
And that was Bolutife Adekoya talking about how the role of the Nigerian youth in closing the gaps of social exclusion when it has to do with sustainable developmental goals. All right, still on Abuja, we had this discussion too that came up on internship policy. NYSC rejects HND graduates at orientation camps, and we had our guest Bilal Aliyu coming to the studio to talk to us about this topic. Please take a listen.
Fine morning to you and welcome to Signature Morning. I am Godwin Sunday. Now, this morning we'll be talking about the internship policy where the NYC rejects HND graduates at orientation camps without industrial training certifications. And joining me in this conversation is Bilal Aliyu, who is a public affairs analyst. You're welcome to Signature Morning, Bilal.
It's my pleasure, Michael.
Okay, Godwin.
Godwin, yeah.
All right, so let's get into the conversation. What do you make of this policy by NYSC, where if HMD graduates don't go for their one-year training, IT training, and get certification for the industrial trainings, they won't be allowed to serve? Because we just saw the last couple of days in the orientation camp, they were sent back home. What do you make of this development?
Well, first of all, I feel that shouldn't really be a priority because there's been a deficit in our educational system today, you know, in the sense that it's being rigid, you know, and the people frontline in the educational sectors are being conservative about, you know, the policies that, you know, guide the educational sector today. Well, we all know that the polytechnic students, like, go through industrial attachment twice, like on the first, during the OND, the first day they go for like three months, you know, serious. That after the OND, then they proceed to go for the mandatory 1 year industrial attachments before proceeding for their HND. But, you know, we tend to find that a lot of people don't, you know, partake in the 1 year mandatory internship. I think last month ago, the NYSC came out with a circular, you know, which stated that any PCM, prospective core members who doesn't, you know, possess that completion of certificate of completion of the 1-year mandatory internship wouldn't be registered in the camp. Well, actually, we shouldn't just, bring this whole situation to only polytechnic students, university students too, because we all know that polytechnic students are more ready for the labor markets, are well prepared, and they have the technical skills that will enable them thrive in the labor markets. That's one of the advantages that they have over students who go to like the normal conventional universities. And the universities today, some people don't, some courses don't require any form of internship. It's more of like the technical ones, and which is just 6 months. And we know that the polytechnic students are more productive because going to the polytechnic, it's more of like a practical based form of educational system, which the university system doesn't have at all. So I feel this shouldn't be a priority, and what they should look at is to review the educational policy of the country and see how they can bridge the gaps in the educational sector today.
All right. So Bilal, it has become like a popular question everywhere where people ask the salient question of are Nigerians youth being penalized by the government? Look at the NYSC policy right now of to polytechnic students. They've suffered some form of degradation when it has to do with result classifications in the country. There was a time where if you have NYSC, if you have HND, you've been ridiculed as though you didn't even have, it's not equivalent to a degree. And right now they're being thrown through this. Is this a direct target? Is this all activity aimed at punishing the Nigerian youth, or is aimed at further degrading polytechnics? Let's look at it from this light.
As I said earlier, it's more of like the policies being implemented by the who frontlining the educational sector, which is very, very insensitive. Because there is more of like a skill qualification framework whereby for you to like possess an equivalent of a bachelor's degree, you have to go through other forms of educational institution like the vocational. We have the normal academic schools. Then we now have like the vocational form of like education, because most times there are people that are just born naturally blessed with skills and anything that has to do with crafts and all. And looking at the Nigerian economy today, we don't just need people who go to conventional universities. We need skills that could be that to enable us address national issues, because in the country today there is a whole lot of the gaps in the skill and craft sector today. And the issues between the BSc holders and the HND holders needs to be like addressed, because there's a form of like stigmatization on the on the holders of HND qualification. Because when you go to the labor market, what the labor market needs, it's the people with the required skills to enable their organizations like solve problems which the universities don't have. In an advanced world today, they even more like consider people with vocational skills, that's like polytechnic and certificate hold markets, because they know it is strictly practical based. So in this case now, I feel the government needs to review the educational sector. We need more of like vocational education, because when you look at we graduating, people from the universities, undergoing technical courses like computer science, mechanical engineering, and whereby when you take them to the field, they don't have or possess what it takes to deliver in the labor market. That's why most of our students, citizens, when they, go out to the foreign countries in search of greener pastures, their certificates are being rendered, useless because they don't have what it takes, to partake in the labor markets. So I feel we have to review the educational system. You can't just be running a curriculum for the past 20 years without having a review about it, because right now the educational, we're in a knowledge economy. The educational sector today needs, it's more of like the tech world, whereby every year or every two years you have different technologies, and different, and trends and all that you have to like adopt, or else you'll be, kicked out of the markets. So that's the situations that these are the issues that we are facing. It's just like a Nigerian student going to study computer science in the university. It's just more of like if a student doesn't like tend to like go out for like professional courses with maybe training institutes like the NIT, the New Horizons, Uptech and all for self-development, it will be as if you're just like wasting the whole 4 years of your life, because the curriculums are outdated. We are seeing new technologies today, like the Python, C++, the artificial intelligence. But a Nigerian student in the university is still being taught Fortran and COBOL, which are like first generational programming language that can't solve any problems in this third world. You see maybe a 70-year-old professor who is like administering lectures to students based on this what do they call it, old programming, to languages. And in that case, when they go to the labor market, they're unable to deliver, because the tech industry keeps, it's dynamic. It's not static. It keeps changing, new technology. So you have to keep, to the latest trends. And another thing again is that our academics, like the professors and the lecturers, don't, go for, trainings. Like they don't train and retrain themselves, to be, ahead of, the time. I know, and most of the research that they keep doing are obsolete. The research that don't, provide solutions to real world problems. That's why in most cases, you tend to find out that most Nigerian professors present or propose, issue out proposals for research grants, and they are being torn down. Because they don't. The essence of a research is to find solutions to a problem, but the contents of their research is being, based on like finding solutions to archaic problems that we don't need.
So Bilal, invariably you say that this policy is not targeted at further deteriorating and expanding the scope and the gap that exists between the government and the Nigerian youths.
Well, actually, the issue here is that we just need to have like a review
of the policy,
of the educational policy, because the people frontlining the educational sector today are static. They are not ready to like upgrade themselves, go out for, refresher courses, to keep abreast of the latest, trends and global technologies. Just like, for example, now you go into a Nigerian university, there are no projectors like for you see a professor coming into the classroom, writing codes on the boards, instead of like having a projector where you can like practicalize the whole thing for them to be able to like.
All right, sorry for cutting you at this point, but parents are asking at this point, who should be responsible for this whole razzmatazz, if you like to use that word, this whole jamboree of students arriving at orientation campgrounds and they are not given access because they don't have their 1-year IT certification. should we blame the school? Should we blame the parents? Or should we blame the students or the graduates at this point in time? This conversation borders on three people. Should we be blaming the school? Shouldn't the school do some form of homework to ensure that before students begin to proceed to NYC orientation camp, they should have some form of, the head should roll, somebody should be able to take this blame. So who should we channel this to? So one is school, as it is a public issue of people going from coming to Kuba orientation camp here, and they were denied access. Who should be held responsible for this in system deficit, or this let's see, this lapses that has sprung forth?
Well, actually, this whole thing revolves so the parties involved in this, because first of all, university students are giving more. They give more preference to value. University students are more valued than polytechnic students.
But this case is a polytechnic student issue. So
No, I'm going to let me learn. So looking at this situation now, a university degree takes 4 years. Some courses, depending on the courses, like a minimum of 4 years, and a polytechnic, the OND is 2 years, and the HND is an extra 2 years, making it 4 years. Then you now have a 1 year internship. When you look at it, it's not fair on the polytechnic students. It means that they're undergoing the training for 5 years, and their qualifications is not equivalent to a bachelor's degree. It's not really fair at all. The government needs to review this whole, because someone with a HND can't go or proceed for a master's in degree. You have to go to the PGD.
So the government should take responsibility for these lapses.
Yes, they are
so
part
NYC is at fault for students leaving their houses and knowing fully well that they didn't have the required certification and coming to orientation camp, and now they are being sent back home. Or the students should be able to be indifferent in this situation.
As I said earlier, it's the whole force, revolves within the parties, and there's the parents, the universities. Okay, you've done your OND, and you're proceeding to your HND. Why admit students into HND programs whereby they don't have certificate of completion of their 1 year mandatory internship? The schools too are part of the problems, and the government is also part of the problems.
Okay, so
and also the students.
It's a shared blame game.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
All right, let's move on, Bilal, at this point. A lot of persons will say that right now, with this policy by the government, which is not necessarily targeted at the polytechnic, just to give them a form of a standard, by these and other things, that the policy that the NYC have put up lately, including the non-implementation of the minimum wage, like the director came out to say that they're not going to implement the minimum wage. They've not gotten to that level. Looking at all of this, and again, looking at the fact that a lot of people have lost their lives in the course of serving Nigeria, their motherland, should we at this point say